to learn about fishes, and Brian catches the fishes, and then he doesn't take them home. He just puts them back in the water.
Because why?
Because fishes need to stay in water.
And because who am I?
The fishing pro.
But what do you call me?
Boogerhead.
That's right. All right.
What's up, folks? Welcome back to D.I.Y with the GoPro Fishing Show. I had a buddy at work ask me to replace a cork handle, the lower cork handle on a 5.6 Wright and McGill Featherlight from, like, I want to say either the early 70s or late 60s. I have a Shimano 5.6 that's just like it. So I knew what I was dealing with once he described it to me. It's a 2-piece rod. And I just want to show y'all the steps I took to get it fixed up for him. He had a little critter issue, and you know how critters like to eat all of our EVA or the cork. That's what happened. So luckily, off a rod that old, I was able to get off most of the old adhesive, but all of the cork, and I didn't have to mess with that upper part because there's the badge on it, and I just didn't want to mess with that. So I just did the lower end for him, and I want to show y'all how I did it. First off, let me explain a little bit about my rod tinkering and fixing background. I mean, we have all replaced a tip, right? I mean, I can reach in this drawer right here and pull out a thing of rod tip glue like it ain't nothing, and there's probably 4 more of them in there. But when it's your main guide that's coming out of the reel, the main one on the casting rod, believe me, I had to watch some tutorials, but for my first time doing anything else aside from the tip, I didn't do too bad. Let me show y'all. So if you zoom in right there, that is my 7.6 mag heavy cranking rod. The only thing I didn't color match right was the threads. For some reason, I thought it was red thread, not gray. Well, who cares? Because this happened, I want to say, maybe 3 seasons ago by now. And for not having a blank spinning machine or anything like that, not only has it held up this entire time, but I don't even think it looks half bad for a first time around. Yeah, there's a little fray on the back end, but so what? Function is more important than fashion. Alright, so up in here in the tongue, we're going to take this 120 grit, kind of wrap it around, knock some of that old stuff off. You don't have to be forceful with it, because this is an old rod. So I noticed when, like, even when putting on grips or taking off old stuff and knocking old stuff, you always want to do it in like a twisting manner. You never want to just go I guess if you twist it, you evenly distribute the amount that you're taking off as far as like structural integrity goes, stuff like that. Your glue's always set up better if you twist.
I'm hoping that new handle, I'm hoping this tongue goes in there nice and snug with that little bit of old stuff left on, even though we had just sanded it to kind of, you know, knock off the big stuff at least. I should probably have a respirator on, but no big deal. And obviously you want that to be flush so your handle will snug up and this will seat as deep as possible, you know what I'm saying? So, but I don't want to go putting the knife down in there if I don't have to. Alright folks, so I started off by taping over the thread where the handle is gonna butt up, the new handle is gonna butt up against the beginnings of the thread. That way we don't get any adhesive inside the threads, or it'll make it impossible, you know, to unscrew these down to get the reel in place. So we got that part done. And I had to drill this out a little bit to fit very carefully, but it fits very nice and snug. And then we got a bottom cap replacement, which really I know my buddy wanted to keep this part, and I did my best to try to get this old stuff out, but as you can see, it's so old and dry rotted that if I go to peeling all this out, it's already got like micro fractures in it. So if, I'm scared to go to get to tearing. Plus, I mean, it don't even look as good. But that's not for me to decide. I can't do anything about it. I just hope he likes it. So let's move on to the next step. Alright folks, I was going to go with the Gorilla Glue two-part epoxy, but since we're only doing a handle replacement and not a, you know, like a main guide replacement or something like that, this fits so tight, and if you twist while you're putting it on, just something about that twisting is never gonna let it come back off. Yep. Alright. I'll let that set up. And then the next thing I'm gonna want to do is this stuff right here is a lifesaver. I mean, if you got swim baits on a hook shank that the keeper is garbage, use this. If you got, you know, keep brush on Loctite in your bag and you will not, or on the deck of your boat in your little cubby spot, and you will not regret it. Trust me folks, I've tried every glue there is available to work on fishing stuff. And what I did here is I scored the outside of this and I scored the inside of this. So in order to ensure a clean surface, so all this stuff grabs. Spray that out. And then I'm gonna get a piece of tape ready. And I'll show you what I'll do with that after. We get it prepped. Oh well, if it sticks, it sticks. Oh, I can't do nothing about it. So what I'm gonna do is the same thing here. I'm just gonna hold the brush in place and spin the rod handle. Now I'm gonna twist again, but lightly. And now I'm gonna check that seam to make sure that there's no extra glue coming out, which right there was a little spot because it grabbed my hand. Okay, so we got that. What I'm gonna do while it's setting up is take my piece of tape, if I can get my hands on it here, and I'm just gonna go over the top and back onto the handle there to keep some tension on there as we're letting it set up. And then in a few hours, we will peel off the tape on the threads, make sure everything around there is nice and good, and give this rod a good looking over before I give it back to him. I might just take a rag to it and clean it up for him and everything, just to make it look presentable. But I didn't want to have to replace that badge, and he wanted to keep what we call the furniture on here, so it was easier for me to just measure and get his old handle off and order from Mud Hole, which I'm not plugging Mud Hole. I'm not sponsored by them, nothing like that. I mean, I trust Matt Steffen, and he uses MHX blanks and builds his own rods, and I don't think he'd steer me wrong, or anybody else for that matter. I mean, these guys got money on the line when they're fishing, so. Well, other than that, folks, I mean, not much to it. If I was doing this guide replacement, I'd have busted this out. But since I was only doing a handle, I'm telling you, the brush on Loctite is the way to go. It's little, it's portable, it's got that little cuticle brush, and I mean, I was gonna use the same size brush anyway to apply it. I mean, look, that's pretty darn close. So we didn't have to go that route. And in a couple hours, we will do the reveal. So this is what I was dealing with. Luckily, the little critter didn't get up here and mess with any of this. And my buddy wanted to keep all the neck, you know, as much of it original as possible, which we were able to do all the way through the reel seat. And then here is the new handle. Got a Mud Hole. Had to make some customization adjustments to it, but other than that, man, I'm not gonna dirty up another man's Cork handle. I'm gonna let him do that, or the grandkids, or whoever. But that's just like, you know, I'm just weird about stuff like that. I want to thank y'all for tuning into a BitChute exclusive how-to video, and maybe more of this audience is DIY instead of just
watching fish catch footage. I hope to do more of these in the future. It's not that I'm trying to leave y'all out. I just have a low subscriber base over there. So most of my focus goes to my main channel on YouTube. Even though I don't really care for their policies or the way they run that joint. It's not my platform, so they can do whatever they want. But I do appreciate BitChute offering me somewhere else to put up content. I've had this channel for 3 years now, and it's just cool to diversify where you're putting out the stuff that it takes, a content creator a lot of time, effort, and some money to do all this. But it's fun, and it's a hobby, and I'm not trying to be some celebrity. I just like to video and audio document my fishing experience and share them with y'all. So, hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope you can take something away if you got a busted rod laying around. One more thing I can recommend to all my D.I.Y people, or if you want to get into rod building and stuff like that, if you're an avid fisherman like me, you probably got a corner of rods that are broke in some fashion or another. They're broken. So what you can do is get your razor knife out or your box cutter and just start pillaging those rods for the guides, and anything that you can get, just take it. I went and got a heat gun so I can sit there and actually roll handles over it, because it'll stand up on its end and still be able to vent intake from the bottom. But anyways, I can roll handles over top of it and loosen up the adhesive and then just pull them right off. So I'll be doing that to a couple rods just in case I need to fix it, or a buddy comes to me with the busted rod that he really wants. I get it, man. Sentimental or just simple fact that, hey, I spent money on that and I just broke it, so I would like to fix it. So anyways, that's enough out of me, folks. These are things to do to pass the time when we can't be out there fishing in the winter, unless you're a guy that likes to go out on ice, which I do not, because I fell through before and it was my own fault. So that's a story for a different video. This is Brian from Guy with the GoPro Fishing Show. Out for now, but just for now. Be easy, people, and be good to each other. Peace out.